Hey there! For today's video, we're going to focus on 3 very important connections we need to be trying to make in all virtual classroom trainings. The first connection is going to be the facilitator's connection with the students or learners. The second is going to be the student or learner's connection with the facilitator. And lastly, the connection between students and learners with each other, peer-to-peer. We'll start with the facilitator's connection with the student, which makes that sort of the most difficult one, but we'll discuss how that can be accomplished. One thing you may want to try to do is have some sort of discourse or back and forth ahead of the training. Send an email out saying, hey, I'll be your facilitator, I'll be working on this training. What is it something you're looking to accomplish? What are some of your goals? What are some things you're struggling with? How can we make this a better training for you? By opening that door, you're hopefully going to receive some feedback from them that you can then use in the program. Hey, I was talking with Susan or Steven ahead of the program. They're looking to accomplish X, Y, and Z. Gives you a little bit of an ally in the program, but also gets you somewhat on a level playing field with them, and that you've had some sort of discourse ahead of the program. Other things you can do is really encourage the use of video and having them off mute. Pick up on anything they may have in their background. Hey, I see you're a fan of X, Y, and Z team. I went there too, or such and such. To make this a little bit easier, we're going to talk about the student's connection with the facilitator. That can be done really in 2 ways. One, passively with your background or what you're wearing. Very easy to do that. Hopefully, by just turning on these videos, you know that I've written a children's book. I like pickleball, and I think of myself as a coach. And lastly, I have a dog. I actively bring up my dog in pretty much every training indoor program that I have. Makes me a little bit more relatable. Lets them know that, hey, if you hear barking, it's my dog. Apologize for that in advance. Playful way for you to engage with them and let them know it's okay for them to share. Because we often find that once you share a little bit about your surroundings, what you're into, what you're going through, others are most likely to share as well. So you're just trying to create that sort of safe space for them to make a connection with you and be willing to share. The last thing we want to focus on is the peer-to-peer, learner-to-learner, student-to-student connection. This is very important because our roles as facilitator is to introduce a skill, provide a foundation, or develop a skill. But the actual utilization and continuation of development is most likely going to be done outside of your virtual classroom. So you want to create some sort of environment where individuals are knowledge sharing, collaborating together, because peer-to-peer learning, as we'll share in a later video, is an extremely important tool for you to have as a facilitator. One way to encourage this is to create some sort of icebreaker or breakout room activity where maybe 2, 3, or 4 individuals, no more than 4, are put in a breakout room. They can introduce themselves, where they're from, what they're working on, what they're hoping to get out of this course, maybe 1 or 2 sort of anecdotal things that allows them to make some sort of connection. Gives them an ally throughout the program if they do need to step away, that hey, they can go ahead and check in with their sort of peer or classroom buddy. But also outside of the program, it allows them to say, hey, you know, we learned about X, Y, and Z. Do you think you're going to be able to use that? How would you sort of put that into your role? Or I was a little confused about this. Can you share how you would use it or share how you understood it? Because it is much easier for someone in a classroom to connect with a peer than it is the facilitator. So you want to facilitate that as well as the content training, your connections with the students and or facilitators. So those are 3 really important connections we're trying to make. The connection that a student will have with yourself, that's probably going to be the easiest one. You can do that passively or actively. The connection that you are going to have with the students, again, share first to encourage them to share, but most important, create some sort of environment for peers to connect with each other, create the inner classroom ally, and then allow for peer-to-peer learning to take place after the program.